Cat People is a 1982 erotic horror film directed by Paul Schrader and starring Natassaja Kinski, Malcolm McDowell, John Hurd, Annette O'Toole, Ruby Dee, Ed Begley Jr., John Larroquette, and Ray Wise. The film opens with the sweet sounds of David Bowie.
Did you say David Bowie?
Yes. He did the theme to this movie I had to watch. It's Cat People.
Ooh, what's that about?
Would you like to watch it? It's about some people who are incestuous and they turn into cats.
Sounds like a David Bowie thing.
We can go watch it. It's on Amazon, I guess.
Great idea. Bye.
Wow. This looks like a crossover between the ending of The Last Jedi and Black Panther. There's a bit of a weather event along the I-72 corridor. So a woman is tied to a tree, pawed by a big cat. Hey, it's morning, go chill in a cave, and there's the cat again. Okay! It's now present day 1982, and Irina has just landed in New Orleans to meet her long-lost brother, Paul.
Okay, I'll be outside by the taxi. Yeah, right. Where you picked me up last time.
She should have used 1-800-COLLECT, the only way to save money. They arrive at Paul's home and encounter Famali. Why do I get the feeling in the script she was just called female and they're like, fuck it, go with that. They do have some great dinner conversation.
Did they ever tell you how our parents died?
I've got a surprise for you.
Hopefully it has nothing to do with singing in the rain. I guess they were circus folk or something. There is definitely some tension in the air. Listen to that Giorgio Moroder soundtrack, folks. It's bitchin'. I'm just gonna watch you sleep and do some Matrix shit. Don't mind me. We then see a hooker go to work at a massage parlor when this happens.
Somebody help me!
Now that reveal was almost too blatant. Oliver, Alice, and Joe show up from the zoo to catch the beast. The leopard goes batshit but gets doped down and taken to the local zoo. Irina goes sightseeing and looks for Paul inside of a church that kind of overdid the color palette. She ends up at the same zoo and discovers that darn cat. And starts to sketch him, I guess. We'll never see it anyway. Meanwhile, John Larroquette is in the office, damn fielding all over the place.
Acceptable solution.
How much would that cost?
I said it's not acceptable.
Can we at least discuss it?
Look, I'll put up with being under-budgeted and understaffed and the fact that these exhibits were built in 1901 and are falling apart, but I will not put up with that crap.
Fine, calm down. I only asked.
Oliver is closing up shop later that night and notices Irina still hanging around the crazy cat and chases her up a tree. That's some Beaver Cleaver level tree climbing there, ma'am. She then gets ill and Oliver takes her back to the office where he lays this awesome line on her.
And you started chasing me. I just got really excited.
Yeah, well, I do sometimes have that effect on women.
No, you don't. They go to dinner and the entire scene is boring as hell, but he does wind up offering her a job at the gift shop, and it's not even for sexual favors. Hey, it's Tommy Chong with an elephant. I thought you said this place needed help. It's as dead as a Kmart. This orangutan is watching Twin Peaks.
God, I feel so helpless.
I know, Draper. Let it out. Let it all out.
Well, make it easy. I thought you guys were supposed to be courteous.
I have to hurt it or it won't respond. What you got? Ooh, Empire Strikes Back gum. 25.
Gum? Those are actually baseball cards. You use the gum to shingle a house. Alice invites her out for a drink, making me realize that Irina has an ability to never pay for anything in this movie. Good for her.
I just never met anybody I liked enough to have sex with. Really? You're still a virgin? Come on, don't make it sound so perverse.
Oh, no, not at all. Just incomprehensible, maybe, especially these days.
Yeah, virgins are fucking weirdos. This woman barges into the conversation.
And there was this one boy.
Mi hermana.
What?
Mi hermana.
Okay, bye. That will never be addressed again in the film. Irina and the cat have a connection as the zoo gets nailed with its next workman's comp claim. Oh, he's fucking dead. Oliver gets a rifle to put that pussy down, but it's gone. Irina comes home and, hey, Paul's here. They have a discussion that goes to this.
You want to fuck him, don't you? You dream about fucking him. Your whole body burns. It burns all along your nerves, in your mouth, your breasts. You go wet between your legs.
Stop it!
Ugh.
I need you.
Who are you?
I need you.
You're not my brother.
Ugh, what the hell? Irina flees from the house and runs into a cop that brings her home. She tries to bury the situation, but another cop with a dog stops and the dog loses it, leading to a search of the home and the body parts down the basement from the leopard, with Famali being arrested in connection to this mess. She goes to stay with Oliver and nothing happens, and they head to what Oliver calls the country, but is actually a swamp.
Yeah, that's alligators who are going to eat us.
Alligators.
Yeah? There's only one way to keep them away. You know what that is? You have to make love.
This bullshit line almost works. Back in the city, Paul is snapping pics of tourists in a cemetery and winds up having erectile dysfunction. At the same time, Irina wakes up and goes on a nude stroll in the swamp where everything looks like a cheap velvet painting in her eyes. I guess she gave up that whole no meat thing. Oliver turns on the lights.
Don't look at me!
Damn! And Paul has some breakfast from his pubic region, then discovers, yep, she's fucking dead. Irina tries to leave.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving. I have to.
What? Wait. Where are you going?
Somewhere. I
What?
can't stay here anymore.
What? Why? 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 Just say why.
Why? 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 Love is professed as Paul is chillaxing up in a tree. There's a cat hunt on, but fuck it, let's call it off. It was a dark and stormy night when Paul shows up. It was open, dickhole!
Save me. Only you can stop this killing. You've got to make love with me. As brother and sister.
This movie was weird, but now it's getting really creepy.
We can live together as mates. Just as our parents did. You do know that they were brother and sister, don't you?
And it gets even worse! She stabs Paul and runs, and he just hangs around becoming a big pussy.
I'm gonna make some coffee.
Sure. I'll get some towels.
Why do you need towels? You guys don't even look wet. Oliver goes upstairs and finds Morris the cat ready to rip out his throat, but Alice arrives to blow that motherfucker away. Jesus Christ, this house isn't going to have any windows left. Great. Incest and cat autopsy. Thanks, Paul Schrader. Smile likes gas and a ham pop out of the kitty, and then it's all Big Mac's special sauce. Irina goes to the jail to get some answers from Famali, but doesn't really get any. I was always entranced with those TV chairs at airports when I was a kid. And Irina takes a train to Richmond. The end. Nope, we get an explanation.
Long ago, our ancestors sacrificed their children to the leopards. The souls of the children grew inside the leopards until the leopards became human.
Thanks. Back in New Orleans, Alice gets stalked. Hey, there's a trolley there! Oh wow, it's actress, photographer, and wife of Anthony Perkins, Barry Berenson. I wonder if they tried to one-up each other at the dinner table, with her telling stories from the set of Cat People and him telling stories from the set of Crimes of Passion. Cat incest transformation versus knife dildo hybrid. There's some gratuitous locker room nudity, and Alice gets scared into the pool by Irina's big cat soundboard.
I was looking for Oliver. I tried the hospital, but he was already out. I'm sorry for frightening you.
Have you tried his windowless house? Oliver is at home. Imagine that. Developing pictures, and I guess notices some kind of resemblance. Irina shows up, they go upstairs and get it on. Yeah. She transforms and John Hurd fights a leopard. She rushes from the home and gets cornered on a bridge, but jumps in the water and heads to the cabin in the swamp, rendering this bridge scene totally fucking useless. Hey, that bitch ate my contractor! He finds Irina and she wants one of two things, either to be killed or plowed again and left a leopard. Why did you kill the other guy unless you're a big fan of Mr. McAllister's D? At least they're practicing safe sex this time, but this bondage stuff is taking way too fucking long. Then they bang. So Alice winds up with Oliver and Irina is a zoo exhibit. And finally, we reach the end. There are only 2 degrees to Paul Schrader. When he's good, he's good. And when he's bad, he's fucking terrible. He must really need that Marty filter. Cat People is an overblown pile of pretentious waste. Its sole purpose is to be a sellable erotic thriller in the early 80s. We need another Body Heat, damn it! Thank God for John Hurd, who tries to hold the film together, but it's still a very messy film. The main issue is the story could be supported with a 95-minute film, but it was stretched to 2 hours, and it doesn't really need to be. She doesn't need to go to Richmond. They can go directly to the swamp, and the entire thing on the bridge is totally useless. The only use those scenes serve is like some stagnant gravy on a piece of weak old meatloaf. The only good thing that came from this film is David Bowie's theme song. Re-recorded for Bowie's album Let's Dance because Universal was being a bitch and wouldn't allow its use on another record label, it has survived, while this film really hasn't. Plus, it has given me another reason to dislike cats.
What took you so long? He's been waiting 45 minutes.
Fuck off. I had to get a babysitter.